Pagpag is essentially like a food that is recycled. Essentially, think of Mickey D's. So for some people who don't finish their like chicken, for example, they throw that out, and then people take that trash food and then they refry it and cook it. That's essentially pagpag. And the people who eat pagpag in the Philippines are usually like the poorest of the poor. Usually the people who like stays in the slums. Usually like me. So yeah, let's check what this video says. Oh my god, typical Philippines. I already love it.
Garbage is a source of income for many people around the world.
Okay.
Especially those who live in poverty.
True.
Metal debris, plastic, aluminium, paper, cans, different
This
types
is
of
true, by the way.
That have been
This happens
discarded
in a massive scale
will be
too in the
sorted
Philippines.
before being sold or sent to recycling plants.
Okay.
Some poor people in Manila make a living from selling garbage. But there is another type of garbage market. The type of garbage they're looking for is organic waste.
Just gonna give you guys a discllaimer. If you guys have weak stomachs, just skip on the video. If you guys have weak stomachs, skip on the video, okay? This is not for the weak stomach.
Cooked and served again as new dishes.
Yep. It's essentially
These
recycled
dishes are
food.
called in Tagalog PAGPAG, which is an onomatopoeic term referring to the action of picking up food from the ground and cleaning it. It basically means brushing off the dust and soil.
Tastes good, fam.
3 o'clock in the morning in a slum in Manila. We arrived to see a day in the life of a food recycler.
Okay.
We wandered through the rain, stomping
good
along
morning,
muddy
Sleepy
streets
Pants.
filled with potholes and puddles.
I think I would still try to be on its food.
Here in Manila. The bumpy street is swamped by the water.
Pagpag is a food for the poor,
Under the
essentially.
dim light of
I don't
torches
recommend
and
eating it
street
unless you're on that
accompanied
state where
by
you need
drizzling
to.
rain, the sound of cars passing by and the roosters
I've actually eaten pagpag a few times already when I was homeless.
We sat down by a pile of garbage and began our conversation with Bird.
Nakita ko kasi nung araw kasi nandun kami sa kabila. May kumukuha niyan. Timba siya, binibinta lang sa Baseco. Kaya meron nga sa palengke ng pagpag doon.
I mean, originally this was supposed to be pig food, like pig feed or like pet food.
Okay naman kasi minsan, nung sumama ako sa biyahe, katulad sa pag nagsama ako sa biyahe, yung sa istante nila, pag sumubra nyo, hindi na pala pwedeng initin. Ibibigay sa atin. Nakain namin kasi okay naman.
Mm-hmm.
After the restaurants, which are the origin of this organic waste,
Okay.
the next people in this recycling process are the buyers, who collect food waste from these restaurants. The process starts right after closing time, at around 10 or 11 p.m.
Okay.
Once the restaurant is closed, the employees start cleaning up the place and put the trash bags containing organic waste outside.
It's essentially
Bird's
recycled
job is to go around collecting the
food, I
bags from
guess.
various restaurants quickly,
Ew, man.
so that the waste won't be rotten. This collection is usually done by midnight.
Gabi-gabi kailangan
Would you guys wanna try pagpag though? Would you guys ever try to eat pagpag?
Kailangan gabi-gabi kung nakukuha yun. Hindi po pwedeng kinaumagahan. Kaya umalis ka rito ng 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Pagdating mo yan, karga ka lang ng karga. Para hindi sila nangangamoy. Minsan, alas 12, dito na kami.
Okay.
Manila is one of the world's top-ranking capital cities in terms of the number of slums. One of the slums
Probably if you
here
need to.
is
I guess
also
when it comes to like,
considered the
you know,
world's largest.
eat or die, I guess you have to. Nope.
Economic
Okay.
growth in recent years has not ameliorated the situation. On the contrary, poverty is soaring. From various
Cute
restaurants
kids.
across the city, Bird drove his truck containing the trash bags to this pile of garbage in the slum.
Usually they're
The
like
sorters are already
fast food
here,
waste.
waiting.
So
They offload the truck and start to sort the garbage deftly.
Bagong kuha pa lang na hapon. Sariwa pa yan.
you don't really call it sariwa. Sariwa is fresh, by the way.
Kamukha nito,
You don't really call it
bagong
fresh,
hapon
man.
kanina. Sariwa pa yan.
So usually they know that.
Araw-araw hinahapon yun.
God damn.
So
Pwedeng ano yan sa hotel.
Ibabaho yan dun eh.
Kailangan mo talagang
Kailangan hakutin.
kunin yan. Araw-araw.
That makes sense. You don't want any like
Mountains of garbage giving off a foul
smell
odor
complaints or
surround us
something.
in the darkness, with only the sorters' headlamps lighting the scene as they work relentlessly and against time. No need for masks to protect them from the dust and smell, nor proper clothing for this filthy work. Only bare hands are needed, as they dig
probably have the
fearlessly
strongest immune
through
system,
this
man.
mixture of leftovers and
They
other
probably have the
trash.
strongest immune system.
Their job is to look for food waste scattered throughout a pile of garbage.
Okay.
Other leftovers are ignored. The only things they need are chicken bones with bits of meat left over by whoever.
Na pinipili ho namin mga laman. Tapos ngayon, may dinadalang kami gun.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Bayaran ng 140, 150.
140 to 150 is like $3, by the way.
Rice and vegetables are set apart, ready to be sold as animal feed, such as for pigs. Chicken bones are not a pig's favourite, so they're placed in a different bag. The content of this last bag is the most valuable and the most sought after. The chicken bones with scraps of leftover meat still attached. By the time the sun rises, the sorting is done. Chicken bones with the bits of meat are packed in bags of 10 kilograms each. From the garbage pile, Bird sells the chicken bones to food vendors in this slum. Despite the steady growth of the economy, the Philippines is still struggling with the distribution of income.
Yeah, that's true.
The
The main
already
problem.
huge gap between the rich and the poor.
The main
is
problem in the
widening.
Philippines is that it's not the wealth is not properly distributed because there's not much opportunities as of the moment. Particularly speaking, is that like it's like in any other country essentially where the corruption is happening, but in the Philippines the corruption isn't really as blatant or as really something that you could see firsthand. What happens is that you could just say like what Bernie always says, like the 1% always takes it all. But in the Philippine economy, it's not really the 1%. It's usually like the top 20%. They usually take all the wealth, and the 20% continues to grow more and more. While people living in the slums who have like lower income, less education, they kind of just stay there and kind of have worsening condition because the government doesn't really focus on them. They don't have many laws or any practices that focus on them because majority of the time they're trying to focus on like tourism industries. They're trying to focus on this and this, but they always forget the welfare of the Filipino people. This is why like insurance, education, or like basic necessities, infrastructure. Those are the basic things that every first world countries focuses on. But in the Philippines, it's one of the last thing that gets focused on because what's the most like thing that the government focuses on is probably like cleaning up the beaches, making a point that there's proper ordinances on your tourist locations, or there's probably a manufacturing for certain components. It's essentially all of this stuff like combined into one. So this is why the 20% keep getting richer. They keep accruing the wealth, but the lower of the financial pyramid, or the Filipinos in the lower bottom of the scale, gets lesser and lesser, and they have to survive with things like PAGPAG essentially, or they have to resort into crime. This is why when Duterte got into power in the Philippines like a few years back, Duterte actually kind of changed the dynamic of this by enforcing like immensely brutish laws to control the corruption and drug trade, which is usually happens in the lower scales of society in the Philippines at least. So yeah. So if you're gonna ask me, the only time that this type of thing gets resolved in the Philippines is when the Philippines actually starts fixing the most basic things, like investing on education, investing on infrastructure, maybe investing on welfare, those kind of stuff, investing in the quality of life for their civilians, especially those who are in the lower slums. The people in the slums area. But here's the thing though, these slums people will fuck you up if you mess with them. This is why government officials and police officers and they always have a hard time dealing with them because these people, they will fuck you up instantly and you can't do shit about them.
More and more. 1 out of 3 Filipinos is living below the poverty line.
Okay.
They struggle to get the bare necessities.
That's kind of true, yeah.
It's a challenge just to put food on the table. Digging through a pile of trash
maybe I should
for
have-
food and goods
okay.
has become a way for many people
I
to
kind of want to
survive.
explain the different socio-economic situations of
chicken
Luzon,
bones with
Visayas,
scraps
and
of
Mindanao,
meat
and how
have
geography
reached the
fits
third
it. But
step in this
I don't want to turn
difficult
this video into a
process.
nerd
The
show, so we're
restaurants.
just gonna continue.
The restaurants cook these bones into various dishes, such as adobo and caldereta.
Oh, that's pretty
Local
good.
dishes popular among Filipinos. Adobo and caldereta, made of this food waste recovered from the garbage, is known as PAGPAG.
Damn.
The sun is rising. The rain has just
Look at
stopped.
the memeing, man.
We're still wandering along the swampy street, flanked by ramshackle dwellings made out of tin.
True.
Locals are roaming
You guys
around.
don't know this, but that's a place where I
We've
live.
reached another step.
That's
in
what
the
my
food
house looks like, by the way.
recycling process.
Do you know why? Do you know why I became
The
a
shop has been
VTuber?
open since dawn.
It's because
A
my
huge
house looks
wok
like shit,
set on
and
a
the only
stove.
time I could
The
make
sound of
make
distant
stuff like this
roosters
is
crowing
when you don't
can
see
be
in the
heard from
background.
time to time.
Because I live in a shack made out of tin, man.
This morning meal
and
is
plywood.
caldereta, a Filipino-style stew in which meat is slowly cooked in tomato paste. She starts by preparing the ingredients, which includes washing the chicken bones in water 4 times and letting them dry.
Aw,
Next,
thank you,
she
Winzy.
fries shallots to bring out their aroma, and then adds the washed chicken bones and a pinch of salt.
That's not a pinch of salt, man. It feels like that was MSG,
The
though.
secret is the tomato sauce. As well as adding flavor, it also covers the
Okay.
unpleasant
Don't you live in an
odor
apartment with a
coming
landlord?
from the
An
garbage.
apartment and a landlord in the slums, bro.
Mix it well, then leave it on a low flame for another 15 minutes. Now we have a hot dish of caldereta ready to be served.
What my pag taste is like.
Dish is sold
Don't
at
get me
10
wrong, this looks
pesos,
good.
or around
But the
8
pag that I like
baht,
is the
or
fried
about
one,
21
because you could eat the
US
bones
cents.
too.
Mura lang eh, manok.
I like the deep fried ones because you could eat the bones too, man.
Hindi ko rin alam bakit. Siguro, ako nga dati, hindi na ako kumakain yan eh.
Why people like it? Because it's affordable. It's the only form of
Masarap naman kasi siya.
chicken that they can afford,
Tira-tira.
essentially.
She told us that she paid 120 pesos or $2 for the chicken bones she bought from bird.
It looks kind of good. I'd eat it.
The whole
When it's
bag
cooked,
is
it
then
looks
cooked
presentable.
into
But when it's
PAGPAG,
getting,
which can be sold
picked
for
up from the
200
garbage
pesos, or
bins, you
about
wouldn't say the same.
$3.40. After deducting all the expenses,
Okay.
she's left with 50 pesos, or just 85 US cents.
Maserte sa ang manok kasi.
I mean,
baboy
yeah,
kasi,
I agree with you.
pag
As long as you have like a strong immune system, this should be a pass. I mean, this should be good.
This man is a regular customer here.
But
He
the main
collects
concern
or
that I have for
buys expired
pagpag,
eggs and sells them at low prices.
it's not the nutrition.
After
It's more on the
selling all his
parasites.
eggs, he stops here to eat. Apart from the good flavor, he also comes here because of the affordable prices.
True.
A dish of pag is eaten with some rice he brought from home. The whole meal costs him less than 10 baht, or about 26 cents.
Wow.
Hugasan po yan para maayos pong pag-ano.
The only thing you have to worry about is parasites,
Pag
man.
Hindi po naayos, hindi po maluluto ng maayos po yun. Hindi siya nalalasa siya ng isa may banis. Ano siya.
Why is most pag made with chicken? This echoes the eating habits of Filipinos, especially those who live in the city. The Philippines is a melting pot of different cultures.
True.
It's a mix of island traditions, Chinese merchants, classic Spanish culture, and modern American commercialism.
True.
The American fast food culture is very influential here. Popular dishes include burgers and fried chicken. Fried chicken is so popular that the Philippines even has their own fried chicken brand. With its familiar flavor and affordable price,
Oh, Jollibee.
a local fast food chain, has built the largest market share in the Philippines,
True.
outselling famous US franchises like McDonald's. Burger
Imagine
King,
Mickey
and
D's losing to
KFC.
Jollibee, man.
Big, crunchy pieces of fried chicken from Jollibee are a dream food for poor people. But the
Okay.
chicken bones, with bits of meat people leave after eating at Jollibee, are all they can actually afford in real life.
Siyempre sayang, mahal-mahal ang bilihin tapos sayangin lang nila.
That's true. I could respect that.
Yung samantalang yung mga mahihirap, yun naghahabol na lang din sa tira nila.
Masakit nun. Pares lang kasi yun ano yun. Tinapala, siyempre tira-tira. Siyempre pwede yung makuha ng tao. Lininisan. Tapos lutuin na, mamakain. Ano rin naman sila, ma'am. Siyempre sila may kaya. Mahirap na yung mga tao rito.
That's
Kaya
true. I
gawin
respect
yung
that.
tao. Pwede lutuin.
No criticism or condemnation. Their only feeling is that others have more opportunity. Though they dream of having a piece of fried chicken from a fast food chain, those dishes remain out of their reach.
I'm waiting for Mr.
Jollibee
Beast to come to the
sells a
Philippines,
piece of
man.
fried chicken with rice for 95 pesos, or $1.64.
Yeah, it's like
while a
$1.
dish of PAGPAG costs only 10 pesos, or 17 cents.
Yeah, that's
Only
true.
once or twice in a very long time might they bite the bullet and pay for a hot and fresh piece of fried chicken with meat on it, one that has not been in a trash bin. But in their everyday lives, PAGPAG is probably the closest they will get to their dream dish. The PAGPAG journey, which begins in the garbage, has reached its destination, in a dish for those who rarely have a chance to eat whole pieces of fried chicken.
Minsan po kumukunti, minsan marami rin. Meron
I mean,
po
at this
minsan
point,
po
you just gotta respect the grind,
iba
man.
na kakain. Yun lang.
Other than food vendors who purchase chicken bones to make PAGPAG for sale, the bones are also packed into smaller portions for anyone who wishes to buy them to cook at home. We continue our journey
Homemade
through ruins
PAGPAG.
and
I've
decay,
never seen that actually.
which reflect the scarcity and famine in the neighborhoods. This granny is selling
Okay,
chicken
thank
bones
you,
in
Vinci.
small packs. Her clients are the residents of the area.
Oh.
This mother has come with her baby to buy the chicken bones to make her own PAGPAG for the family. Though we can afford fresh food, we couldn't help stepping in and buying some from the granny. Once she finds out that we're not locals, she eagerly tells us the recipe for adobo, a popular local dish in the Philippines.
Okay.
From tin shacks that sell PAGPAG in the slum area, we travel back to the origin of this recycled food. Here is a modern commercial district in Manila.
I can't wait for Mr. Beast to come to the Philippines,
Everything's
man.
clean and organized.
Eating PAGPAG challenge. Man, that would be cool.
Only those with purchasing power, which is a small group here in the Philippines, come here to spend their time and money.
I want to have country fry wings.
Oh,
We
wow.
order some food. The dish reminds us of the PAGPAG we just saw.
It's
The
wait,
chef
what?
here acknowledges the existence
It's
of
just
PAGPAG
chicken. There's
and
no
gives us
rice.
His honest
That's
opinion.
fancy.
Recycling food that way is not
No, it's not
acceptable
recommended.
at all.
Because as a chef, I'm trained in the HACCP, we call it HACCP, which is Hazardous Analysis Critical Control Points. It's an international standard for food safety,
Right.
Okay.
HACCP. So they don't recommend recycling food. You can take whatever leftovers you have and eat it the following day, but not to recycle whatever is eaten and recook it.
Give me some knowledge. If food is not finished like this, and I don't want to take back home,
Yeah.
what can we do with the food?
She sounds Singaporean now. Now that I'm trying to listen to her, she
For
sounds
example,
Singaporean.
There's so many food. I suggest, actually, you can take it home and do
What if I didn't want to take it home? Okay, I'm staying in the hotel tonight. I don't
Okay.
have, like,
Okay.
way to actually heat it tomorrow
Okay,
morning.
so you don't have any
I
plans
don't have
of
any
eating
plan.
it again?
Yeah.
I suggest you just throw it away.
Throw it all,
You
yeah.
can, or just give it to, just pack it up, take it out, and just give it to whoever wants
Oh,
it.
okay,
Because
like-
that's different from PAGPAG. Because
I
in
see.
PAGPAG,
Yeah, you could just.
they
That's a
throw
good
it in the
option.
trash
Yeah.
already.
If you
Unlike
ordered a meal and you can't
they
finish
pack
it, just
neatly,
put it on a
you can do
takeout,
whatever you want with it.
and then just give it to
Unlike
like the
PAGPAG,
homeless
it's
person or
thrown away
to
and
whoever
mixed
you want to
with
give
other
it to.
food ingredients. It gets mixed up with the bacteria, with the leftovers.
That's a good idea. Yeah,
Who
that's
knows
that's
what
a
is
better idea than
Poverty
I'm
has long
dumpster
been
diving
a
for that
chronic
shit.
problem in the Philippines, combined with a skyrocketing birth rate, contributing to a population of over 100 million. All this has pushed 1 out of every 10 households in the Philippines below the poverty line, with an average daily income of less
that's
than
where I
50
am, boys.
baht, or not even $2.
That's where
Roughly
I am, boys.
1.5 million kids only eat 1 meal a day. 1 out of 3 children
You guys would
under
like
the
ask
age of
why am I
5
so thin?
suffers with cretinism.
It's because I can't afford
8
food.
out of 10 children aged between 6 months and 5 years don't have enough food to eat and have developed chronic malnutrition.
I mean, they did say that that's the reason why Filipinos
That
are short.
includes the youngest member of this family.
Okay.
How old are you?
Hey, what's up, Tyrell? How are you, man?
3.
Yeah, I'm having a good day, man.
You want something? Okay, you sit with me here. Yeah, you can take as much as you want.
I didn't bring his to hospital there, so I didn't know why he's, I think, a little bit thin.
I mean, if that was my case, I just take the entire bag, man.
For his age.
The person literally said
So you
that
think because of
you
he
could take
doesn't
anything,
have
everything,
enough
anything you want.
vitamin?
I'll take the entire bag, man.
The
This
mother
kid is
well
not going
aware
places,
that her
not
child's
smart enough.
deformed body is a sign of malnutrition.
You'll be famous one day and you'll take care
But
of
her
us? Hell
tiny
yeah.
income
Of course.
doesn't allow her
You guys
to
always
provide
comes
enough
first, man.
food to all of her 6 children.
So you think they have enough protein to eat?
No.
If I get famous, I'm gonna give you guys PAGPAG, okay? I will send PAGPAG to you guys.
A balanced life, yeah, for
I'm kidding, I'm
every
kidding,
day,
I'm joking.
But I can achieve that. What is, ano meron, what we have, we
Come on.
need to eat what we have. If wala,
I have a question though.
nothing.
So they cannot afford
I can
food,
provide
but how come she has jewelry
give them-
and
give
colored
them
hair?
a milk because she's the one who get milk because I'm in work.
Your priorities are.
So
You know what? I'm not gonna.
Since when that he stopped taking milk?
1 year old, 2 years old.
So he only had milk for
Vanity,
1 year.
maybe? I'm not sure, but
I have seen how illegal drugs destroy
it's Papa Dutz.
individuals and ruin family relationships.
President Duterte's war on drugs has affected the livelihoods of many poor families. It has worsened the situation of already poor families.
The side of my husband, yeah.
Her husband was shot and killed by the police, despite having no connection to drug crimes, but just because he happened to be walking near the area where the operation was taking place.
yeah,
The family
that was a grim
left
time, I'd
without
say.
their father figure. The mother had no choice but to bring all 6 children to come to live with her parents. One of her children is now being taken care of by the staff of a private social organization which works with children.
My husband go to jail because he's set up, and I asked the officers why he is
In
in
jail.
the jail.
I'm
They
sorry,
said
is this
to
still
me
related to
that,
PAGPAG? I came here for the PAGPAG video, not for a.
Your husband
Okay.
is in the area of bypass operation. Although you're not in the house, but you're in the perimeter.
Then you are guilty too.
Yes, you're also
Okay.
in the area. I think
Is
it's
this the PAGPAG
15
video still?
meters in the area. Everyone
I think
who's
they're
in
not
the
gonna
area
discuss the PAGPAG anymore. They're just gonna talk about the socio-economic style of Duterte's
I'm worried
the effects
about
of
the
it
food
in the
because
socio-economic status of the
the-
Filipinos, essentially,
the
and how poverty
one
fluctuates
they get
in certain
the one
areas.
the intake.
So I'm gonna pause the video here. I'm not gonna finish it, even though it's like there's 4 minutes left. I feel like they're not gonna discuss PAGPAG anymore. But here's their keynote about PAGPAG. PAGPAG is essentially like the food of the poor and the poorest of the poor. You know. And in my case, yes, it's unsanitary. It's dirty. You could have issues with germs. It literally came from the garbage bin that has been refried or like reboiled or whatever the necessary cuisine was to fix it. And it should probably be your last resort when it comes to, poverty. Would I recommend PAGPAG? Only when you have to. If you're starving on an island and the only thing that washed by the shore is a PAGPAG, then yeah, sure, go ahead. In my perspective, at least, as someone who already ate PAGPAG a few times already, I would only say that the best PAGPAG is the deep fried ones. Because if you eat at least a deep fried PAGPAG, it's at least cleaner because you got the old bacteria and germs are all killed and stuff. As long as it's not recycled oil, but most of the time it is. But anyway, definitely a deep fried pagpag is a lot cleaner than than an adobo or like than a halin, like whatever type of recipe there is for a pagpag. So again, it's a food for the poor, and it's probably not gonna be coming out anywhere until the future, because this is like a survival necessity for those who are like really are in the poverty line. But I would definitely say at least that if you come to the Philippines and you wanna try it out, just don't. It's a stupid idea. Just don't. Okay, just don't. If you have an iron stomach and you're willing to die tomorrow, then yeah, sure, go ahead. But anyway, that was a great video. Let's move on to the next one, boys.